Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at Pro Q4 by FabFilter. It's the latest and greatest in the Pro Q lineup. Let's load. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Yes, finally we're taking a look at Pro Q4 by FabFilter, and if you know anything about FabFilter's apps, you pretty much know they have been the standard for many years. They come at a pretty high cost when looking at these apps for desktop or Mac. But on iOS, well, of course, we get them at an absolute bonza price. And finally, number 4 has dropped for Pro Q. Very exciting times indeed. I remember when these first came out on iOS, it was very exciting, and I bought them all. Not all of it, and I think I bought 3 of them with my own money, because here in Australia they cost a little bit more than the normal price that you would get in the US. So I think it's $29.99. Let me just pull up the details. Pro Q4. I'll say hello to you all. Maybe I won't, because I can't load Pro Q4. Okay. Pro Q4, where are you? We'll put FabFilter. Pro Q4, there we go. So I was just getting the price up, guys. Boom. So it is available on iOS for $29.99. So compared to, I think we're looking at, I'm just going by my own memory. I think it's around $140, $149 each for the FabFilter. I'm not sure if they're all exactly the same price, but you're paying a premium, yeah, for desktop and Mac and all of that jazz. But here on iOS, they are super cheap at $30 USD. In Australia, they're about $49. So they're a little bit more because $1 is shocking. These don't work on Mac, just so you know. They are primarily iPad only. No iPhone, just iPad only. That is the deal with these suckers. Okay, let's say hello to you all, and we'll get into some demos with this thing. Sorry, folks, I'm a bit weird today. My back is still really sore. It's really hurting right now. So this could be a short show just so I can get out of the chair and back sitting comfortable. Falco, hello. Leela, Thomas Christ. Great show, Leela. Had you on in the background while I was waking up. Brad Examples in the lounge room. I'm watching from there. Hi, Brad. What's going on? Anyone else that I may have missed? If I scroll down, I saw Queen. Hello, Queen. Russ8889. Chris CQ, g'day. Who else? Thomas, thanks for slinging links. You can always send a super chat, super sticker, support the channel, all that jazz. Become a Patreon and you have a chance to win most of the apps that I cover each week. Pretty much, nearly all of them. Not this one, though. Not this one. Sometimes, not all of them. Paws and Guitars, hello to you. Studio 6+1, welcome. And you join the members as well, so thank you so much for doing that. That's very kind of you. Mix Club says balls. I just guessed he was saying balls and he didn't. Ed Zielinski, hello my friend. And if you're lurking, lurkity-loo. And if I've missed you, I am blind. It just happens, you know what I'm saying? With age. So Pro Q3 was awesome. Getting Pro Q3 on iPad was fantastic. I know there's a lot of people who use Pro Q3, and do you need to update? I'm just going to give my opinion on this straight up. No, I don't think you do. If there's certain features in here that I think absolutely really save time, and if you want to save some time, if you've got some really big projects, I think where this new Pro Q4 really pays off is in really big projects that you're using a lot of instances of Pro Q4, because one of the features in here will save a crap ton of time. There's another feature in there that can replace certain apps, like removing things like it has a brand new spectral dynamics processing. So if you've ever seen the app Smooth on Mac and PC, it kind of removes frequencies that are not right in your mix, and this has that kind of built into it, so it makes Smooth kind of obsolete. So those two features I think are king of this. We're going to get into just pretty much today the features. We'll do an overview of how it all, the overall of the EQ, but mostly it's going to be new features and such. So I'll open it up in AUM first, and I'm using my friend Russ8889's music for some of this today. So we've got a track in here of his. We'll just play it for a second. What is the track? Can't remember. Backyard. No, that's what I called it. This is what I use for one of my shows. Russ can tell us what it's called. I can't even remember. You can type it in the chat for us, Russ, with one hand. And here is Pro Q4. The one thing you're going to notice about this is it virtually looks exactly the same. Why change something that works already? Yeah, why bother changing something that works? Very, very stock standard, slight different coloration and stuff like that. So that's your first major kind of difference. We'll turn this down a little bit. Dan Anderson, hello to you as well. Okay, so we've got an undo and redo up the top. Let's cover that first. I'll just turn this way down. In fact, we'll just stop this. We'll pause it there. You've got an undo and a redo up here, the two little arrows. You've got an A-B copy, so you know you can have an A and B of a EQ, and you can flick between them to, you know, check out the differences. So that's pretty cool. You just copy between them. This has been in there for ages. I made Russ get up. Everyone Needs a Miracle is the title of that song. Thanks, Russ. I made you get up. You have presets and a ton of presets. So every time you load up, it's going to default to this default setting. You got vocal presets, utility presets, templates, synth stuff, surround, strings, sends, mix bus stuff, keys, guitar, drums, bass, brass, bass, and aces. So you've got a whole bunch of presets. Now, the thing is with presets, again, is that these presets are general. You know, they're generalized presets for a particular tone. A great place to start. But most of the time, you know, you're not going to really just load something up from the presets and just go, that works with my song perfectly, because it can't guess what the tonality, the frequencies of all your song is. So, but a great place to start with some of these, you know, if you come down here and hit drums and put something like a drum bus punch, you're going to get something like this pop up. So you've got a heap of presets, but we're not here to go through presets today. Let me go through to the default. We've got a help thing going on here. So we've got help topics, which you can actually select which things you want to have on for help topics, yeah? So you can also go to their website, you've got support and an about thing, but you can turn these on for help topics. So when something pops up, you can get a little bit of help on here. So you can see here, show EQ parameter display, show EQ or frequency on hover, just little help things that are going to help you get the best of using this. Of course, with all FabFilter apps, over here, we've got this little 12 dB thing. So this will give you, this is the look of the app here. So if I change this to 6 dB, it's going to be a lot tighter. Let's just load up a preset just to show you what I mean, a guitar preset, like this anger one. And if we go from 12 dB down to 30, you're going to get everything in a much smaller readout, so you can see up here more. And the higher you go to a 3, the closer in. So it's almost like a zoom kind of thing, just so you can see what's happening. There you go. So you can manage that from here. This is in all the FabFilter apps, so nothing really new there. We'll clear this out and go back to our default setting. Drawing things in. It's never been easier. Double tap, double tap, double tap, and there you are. You've got your band points up and down, and you can see whenever you click a point, the little box down here, which has been implemented from ProQR, I do believe was the first time they introduced this kind of little box here. I could be wrong. Yeah, so you can see it moves to each section down the bottom. You can drag up and down. Or you can use the gain, of course, down here to change these as well. You've got a Q over here to tighten things up for those frequencies, or a wide band. Double tap will bring these back anytime you want. And left and right, this is your frequency. So you can drag this left and right to move these around. Or alternatively, use your hand or use a pencil. Yeah, so pencil comes in really handy. Use your fingers. That's completely up to you. No pinch. I don't think there's a pinch in here to do that. But also, to give you context with each of these, every time you tap on a node, you've got all these options up here. So you can change your band passes, your low pass, high pass, the brand new one that's in here, which we'll get to. So you can go and do all of that from in here as well. Or you can do it from down here. So you can change these. So low shelf, low cut, high shelf, high cut, notch, band, pass, tilt, shelf, flat tilt, and this is the new one called all pass. This is really handy. I probably don't have the right thing to give you a demonstration of it today, but for when things go out of phase, right? So if you've got like a bass and a drum that's playing together and they've gone out of phase and there's a gap where the file is kind of disappeared due to phase, you can throw this over the top of it. Now, this all pass thing can be used many ways. If you want to look more into that, go and do a search on YouTube for all pass for EQing. And there's so many different techniques you can use this all pass feature for that'll just blow your mind to do things that you would never even expect. So it's really nice that they've added this in here. And again, you can change these from up here or down here. There's the all pass one. So you've got many places to change these little features. You can turn on and off a node from here. There's a little on switch. You can solo that section. So you see when I press the little solo button, it makes a little bracket on each side, letting you know that only that section is being soloed. You want to get rid of it? There's an X. Kill it. There's your way to destroy stuff. The same down here. There's an X down here to destroy a node and remove it. Let's just add a couple more in. And you'll notice down here on this little meter that we have, there's a little 3. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Just down the bottom there's a little 3 with an arrow. You can move through these just by clicking the little arrow and it moves through them. So pretty standard stuff that you would have found in all of FabFilter stuff. I'm just doing a brief overview of all of the stuff that you would expect. There's a little stereo button down here, so we can go left, right, stereo, mid, side chain. So we can do side chaining through here as well. Just leaving this on stereo at the moment. We'll get into what we need to do next, but let's clear this out again and show you one of the new features because it's pretty damn cool. Are you going to use it a lot though? I don't know. It's a great place to start, I guess. So down in the bottom corner here, I'm using my pencil. There's a little paintbrush down in the corner. And if I touch on this, you'll notice we get this little line here. And if I drag this up, this now allows me to draw in an EQ curve quickly. As soon as I lift that up, that EQ curve is there now for me to go in and individually play with all these sections. So if you have, you know, a pretty standard EQ curve, pretty easy to quickly dial something in, yeah? So just use this pencil down here. You can use your finger as well. You don't need to use a pencil. Just grab it. I'm going to drag this in from here and just do a scoop and then a high. Really simple to draw that kind of stuff in. If that's, you know, the basics you want to start off. If you have a very simple curve you want to put in to a certain track that you use all the time, there you go. Super easy to do. And you are rocking. From there, you can edit your heart's content. Undo, and I'll get rid of it. And you're good to go. You can go batshit crazy with this thing, so you can, whee, And you can go back. So if you've made a mistake, you can draw backwards and say, you know what, I didn't like that. So you've done a curve in here. And I'm not sure about this curve here. You can backtrack over this and sort that out. Now, you're not going to be able to, you can get super fine pretty much with a pencil anyway. You can see how I'm getting that pretty fine as long as I'm moving ahead. So, you know, it's a little bit difficult to get in and do that. We'll try it again. Clear it out. Am I missing something? All right, we'll draw another one. Grab my pencil. So yeah, if this was the idiotic kind of EQ you were going to draw in, which I wouldn't suggest, it looks pretty stupid, you can do that. So not too bad a feature. I know a lot of people when it came out were going, yeah, this has kind of been around before. Will people use it? Well, you know, if you're not going to use it, you're not going to use it, are you? But I guess for some people you can use it. I mean, once you've done this, you can then come in here and select all of this, right? So if you didn't know, you can do this kind of stuff too. So I've just selected all the top ones here. And if I want to get rid of them all in one go, I'd now just head over to the little bottom here and click that out, and I can delete all of the stuff that's been added. So now we're only taking away frequencies, right? This is that feature just there, what I just did then, selecting and deleting stuff, is really good for EQ matching. Trust me on that. Let's do a default setting again. Come on, pencil, do your thing. And let's draw this again. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I might only want to remove a tiny little bit of this, you know, just these 2 points here. And you can come in and just select them and just hit the X and remove them super easy. Again, soon you're going to find out why that's really good for EQ matching. If you're doing a master, say, yeah, and you've got a guide track, you can EQ master very, very easily now with this. It's quite mind-blowing. So we'll get out of this for a second. Let's move on to the next feature. And for this, we're going to open up EG nodes. Will Agent 907 Johnson, hello. So I've EG nodes running here. Let me just see how this is going to sound. So we're running song mode. Okay, so with this, I have, what have we got? We've got a whole bunch of nodes here. Let's go into this view. So we've got a whole bunch of nodes in here, and you'll see I've got loaded in FabFilter's Pro Q4 in each of them. And I've got a master track here. So this is our final master track. I haven't done any EQing yet, but we've just put one on each track. So you can see they're all on there. I'm going to load up the first one here. This is our first EQ that I have on here. Now, one of the things that's really difficult, has been for a very long time, is bouncing between your EQs. So if you've got 9 of them, how do you get to them all? This is the feature that I think owns everything. So down the bottom here, where it says Pro Q10, if you click on this, we get this whole new look, which gives us a whole look at every single EQ we have in this track, yeah? And up the top, there's a little slider up the top here, and you can make this smaller and pan it right out, so you've got a nice overview. So now when I hit play, we can see everything that's in the track that's playing. And this is wild, yeah? I said at the top of the show, this is the feature I think that is the game changer. To be able to get an overview of everything at once, of what's playing and what EQ curves are on here. But it gets better because if I zoom in, this is your zoom slider. You can zoom right in and you can actually edit these on the fly from this screen. I could come in here right now and add a low cut, pull a scoop, add some highs there, scroll down. We could add a little bit in there and take off this. You see what I mean? This is like so wild. And you have all of the functionality, not all of it, but most of it, even the view, to make this like larger, yeah. The cool thing is, another cool thing about this is, not only can you add points, you know, with your finger or with your pencil anywhere you want. Let's scroll. We've got a new track in there, this one. Just, you can, there's an undo as well. So over to the side, there's this little arrow here. So you've even got an undo in there. That's wild. But you can also draw in your curve as well. That new feature of drawing in is added in there also with the little pencil. So we'll zoom in a bit and you can see that pencil's down here. Each of these correspond to the name of the track. So you can see Pro Q4, piano roll. I'm on 9. So you just click on it and it'll slightly bring it to the front as well, so you know what you're working on. You can lock these, change the output level, so you've got options within each of these to play around with. Another one of my favorite things is I might want to pin some of these tracks to the top, and you can do that. There's a little pin button here. If I hit that and I hit this one and maybe this one here, and then right up the top here there's a pin, click that and it will put those 3 tracks to the top of my list. So everything that's pinned I can see now. So this is great for grouping for a specific section. And I love when you shrink it down, all the way down small, you'll notice this little toolbar's gone from the side here. But as we make these larger, over to the left, a little toolbar's appeared now. If you want to get rid of group stuff, turn this off, and now you've got all your tracks. You can slide to them via here. You can turn off this by scooching it over there. But we also have this section here. I'm just going to turn this off. So we're right at the top. Our piano is the main instrument of this track, and you'll see this little button here. When this is turned on, make sure it is on. Can you see this? These little highlighted sections. This is showing where there's conflicts within the rest of your tracks. Things you need to possibly look at, like, you know, clashes of EQ, which is super handy. And you can turn that on for any of these tracks up here. Another way to make these large as well is the little arrows. We'll pop them up, or just tap anywhere and you can bring them up on the screen. And as you'll notice too, when you bring up a node, all the options are in here as well too. So it's pretty wild. Absolutely, red clashing, very, very handy with a lot of guitar tracks and stuff like that. If look, especially there's heaps of people out there who, you know, I don't know everything. I know I'm going to die not knowing everything because it's impossible. Who don't know what to look for when they're EQing. They got multiple tracks. They don't understand where to fit things in within an EQ spectrum. This is going to help people do that. Yeah, it's going to help pro people understand too, with huge amounts of tracks, to be able to look at this. We've also got a search button here too, so you can type in here and find the track. So if I typed 5 there, just the number 5, and it just found track 5. Super easy. So you do have a little search button in there as well too. This is the standout. This is just an incredible feature, I believe. It's wild. It's long overdue, and I think it's going to make a difference for a lot of people. So there is that. Hi, Joe Glenn. So what are we going to move to next? Let's bounce out of that, and we'll come over to AUM again with Russ's track here, and we'll just clear this out, default setting, because we've also got some, let's come down here. We've also got some new patches down here. And here it is with these patches we've got. So clean is the typical standard thing that's been in all the ProQ apps, just clean. But they've added these 2 new ones in here called subtle and warm. And, you know, you're not going to hear this too much, but we'll play this. I'll put in like a quick EQ in here. Just nothing exciting. Let's get rid of that one. Come here. Come here, you. All right, so we've got Russ's song in here, and let's just hit play. Now, what they add to this, I saw a video on the actual the analyzer of what they do add, and it is really just a little bit of grit. It's a tiny bit of saturation, so you've got a subtle and warm. You know, hard to really pick up, but it is in there, and these are just, so they are saturation, and you'd have to... you know, have some pretty good ears to hear it, in my opinion, but it's there if you want to do it. Yeah, so that's in there as well. I think it's a little great addition. For individual tracks, I think you're going to hear it a lot more. We can do that once we jump over to a track mix I have, which won't be too far away. But right now, I want to jump into talking about the new Spectral dynamics processing. Yeah, so this is another new thing. So in here, now we've already had for the longest time a dynamic EQ. If you don't know what a dynamic EQ is, over here, here's our little setting. There's a drop down box here, and we can make this dynamic. So by making this dynamic, it adds some settings down here to this control. You can see this little cloud wasn't here before. If we hit undo, all we have down here is the gain, yeah? So just turning the gain, but there's nothing above that at the moment. So there's 2 ways to actually set this up, to add the dynamic processing. As I said, you can click on the node, tap here, and change to make dynamic. We'll undo that. Or you can come down here, and just in this ring here, if you tap, see if I can do it. Can I do it with my finger? There you go. So you just move it a little bit and you'll see now it's added that in there. Now we can move this up and down, yeah? So now when we hit play, we've got this dynamic EQ, yeah? So this was in the last Pro, I think it was in the last one. Pretty sure it was in Pro Q3. But what's been added now is the ability to use this advanced spectral dynamics processing, which you may have seen in this app called Smooth, which it removes inharmonic frequencies or adds them, accentuates them. So now you can do that in here. All you got to do to activate that is touch this little button here. And now when we hit play, and the beautiful thing is you have plenty of control over this too. So this is basically, when you turn it on, it's basically set to like a standard. It's automatically doing it almost like AI, yeah? For a better use of term. But over here there's some little arrows. Oops, turned it off. And we've got more controls here. So there's a little solo button, and now we can hear what's being removed. Or what's being added. So let's go into these functions as well too, because we can increase this. So we're increasing the density of this, or we can remove it all the way down to 0, and you can see it's not as tight. Or somewhere in the middle, yeah? We've also got attack and release. So you can really get in here and mess with the attack and pull this attack down. So it's gonna hit really fast attack. You can change the release, fast release, or a slower release. And that's affecting these, yeah? Just so you're paying attention. Or a nice fast one, so you can see how fast they are, snapping back. Look, one of the main things this does, above anything, I know there already has been. This has been out on desktop for a while, yeah? There's already heaps of people saying, yeah, but it doesn't do much more than the other one. Where this is a winner is if you are using multiple apps to do one thing. This can be used to do so many things now. It's going to eliminate clutter. That's the main thing. I think this is really fantastic. Another thing over here, down when we click on here, with the original Q3, you could click between these band slopes, yeah? So you can see as we go up these band slopes, 96, and we're changing the slope here of this band. Well, now you can come in here and hold down and drag and go in between 36 and 48. So you've got that little bit more control than you normally would have had, just by clicking between, you know, what do we got here? 12, 18, 24, 30. So if I pick 30 here, hover over it and just drag, you can see that's changing by a tighter numerical set of numbers. Numerical set of numbers. Shut up, Jade. So a small feature, but very, very handy indeed. I have an idea. What's going on? And of course, you can do this with all of the shapes, so low cuts. Yeah, you can make these dynamic as well. That have the spectral dynamic processing. Let's come over here back to our bell. Okay, let's remove this spectral. Another thing that's really cool that you can do now is this band here. So you'll notice when we turn this off, so as I said, to turn on spectral, click here and turn it off, and we're just back to our dynamic EQ, yeah? You can see it's just bouncing as a dynamic EQ. Underneath here now, and we can solo this to just hear what's going on with this dynamic EQ. Wherever you see a little pair of headphones, that's your little solo to hear exactly what you're doing, yeah? What are you cutting? What are you adding? So just below here, you'll see this button that says band. This is new. We can now come in here, and so this is using the dynamic EQ within this band, yeah? We can change this to free. And what this does is allows us to take this and move it over here, and we are now side chaining the dynamic EQ from the low end, which is almost like ducking. Very, very, very powerful, this one. I'm telling you, that is wild to be able to do that. Let's bring the music back. And you can change the size of this as well to a smaller band. We can take this up to the high end. Now remember, we've also got our threshold over here, this marker here. So we can pull down the threshold. You see we're not getting much of a reaction. Anything that's going to be over 3.6, we're going to get our EQ kicking in. Again, attack and release. And if we turn on this again, the same here. We have a threshold in here as well. double tap anywhere to bring anything back to where you want it to go, yeah? The other thing that's been improved, so there has been some under the hood improvements, a lot of stuff actually, and one of the main things is the filter shapes. So the bell notch, high-low, the shelves, high-low cuts, bandpass tilts, the flat tilts. They've all had some major improvements to them, the way they react and all that kind of stuff. There's a heap of improvements under the hood, of course. We're going to open now. I don't think there's... So these are pretty much the major things of the app. Of course, you've got your keyboard down the bottom for moving to musical notes instead of frequencies, you know, when you hit play. So you can see what's going on musically, sonically, if you don't understand frequencies. I want to touch on this A-Bing as well too. So let's just clear this out right now, and then we'll jump. Oh, we haven't run an ad, have we? Halfway point, bit late today. Let's run an ad every day on the show. We run an ad just so I can get paid something. You know how it works. Yeah, Mars says, g'day Mars, FabFilter will send you to the poorhouse, but you'll be happy. Absolutely fucking true. They're good stuff. Like, let's not fuck around. This is good. And what I'm going to show you now is really, really cool. So you'll see here I've got 2 tracks loaded up. They're both Russ's songs. And so if I play them both together, they're clashing over each other, right? So we'll mute this one for now. And we've got an instance of FabFilter in both of these. So if I come here and now click on our little new button and we get our overview of these 2 apps, well, guess what you can do? I might want to match the look of Russ's song, yeah, or the EQ readout of one of Russ's songs. Do an EQ match. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, you can do that by clicking up here. So there's a little arrow to the side of each of these, and it gives you the opportunity to copy. So I might just have, let's do our draw in. We'll use our pencil and we'll draw something in. And I might go, hey, that works really good on this guitar. I might want to copy this down here. So you can click on here, hit copy, tap here and hit paste. And just in this screen, you can copy and paste things with hundreds of tracks, however many tracks you've got. So that is just, you know, it's wild. It's really, really cool. Sorry about that. Undo. So you can you've got undos on all these as well. Let's just delete these out from here. Again, you can delete these, draw these in, edit them, do all this from this section. But EQ matching is really, really cool as well too. So I've got Russ's second song in here, and I want to EQ match Russ's song. So I'm going to go in here and hit EQ match. Just make sure, make sure it's unmuted. And come out here. Let's go back into this one. And I want to choose another instance. So I can choose A1. So that's the second one. That's this one here. And I can hit play and let it go. After it's gone for a while, I can hit match. And I can finish this. And now I've got this EQ readout of Russ's original song, of the second track here. So this one here. And I might want to EQ match this over to this new song if I'm mastering. I can do that now. I can now copy this over into the new one because I've got an EQ readout. Come over here, paste. Here we go. And I might not want to add all this stuff in. So let's come back. I want to maybe just remove all the stuff. I don't want to add any of this. So I can just come over here, copy all this, hit one of the nodes, and then I've got to select them all. Select, give us a select. Why am I not able to do that? I was able to do it earlier. Let's go 12. We'll go 6, 30 so we can see all these. I'm doing it with my delete key, but I'm not doing it now. That's good fun, isn't it? There we go. This should work. Yoink, and they're all gone. So I've just been able to pull out all the horrible stuff from the original song. This is not, you know, I'm not doing a full-on perfect example here, you know what I mean? But let's mute this. And I've been able to get the exact, so this is like, you know, the EQ matching was in the original thing. Did I run the ad? I did run the ad, didn't I? I don't know what's going on today, guys. Can somebody tell me if I did run the ad? I did. I think so. I didn't. I don't even know if I ran it. Yeah, but you may not have got it. I don't even know if I hit the button. And my back hurts so much. I'm not going to lie, guys. My back is in so much pain today. I can't even think. All right. Anyway, I ran it a second time. But, this hard work. Got one now. All right, so I mustn't have pressed it. So this EQ matching and copying between, this is just gun. I know Ivan is a big lover of Pro Q, and you got to admit, Ivan, this to me is the feature. This is the be all and end all. This feature is just killer. And to be able to come in here and find these saw points as well is just, yeah. Too good. All right, so you got an ad now. Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me know. All right, what I'm going to do next is just load up a track in Logic, just to show you it working in Logic. And we'll try it with something like one of these new Metheus songs I'm working on. Mind you, me and Brad started working on our song yesterday. You'd probably notice behind me, there's a chair here and a microphone up here. Yesterday, me and Brad were in the studio recording. Look at this. Good times. How's this? Brad has come all the way from Canada, and we're recording a song together. Listen, I'll give you a tiny listen.
Life I lived is so strange. The world is a circus without any purpose.
Wow, we're actually writing a song together. How fucking cool is that? Anyway, let's open up a Metheus track, and we'll make a copy, make a duplicate, because I don't want to screw my songs up. We'll rename this Pro Q4 Demo. So this isn't a big track. Oh, thanks, Logic. You can always count on Logic to crash when you need it to do something, can't you? Hey. Maybe? There we go. So this is not a big track, yeah? It's only, we got drums, bass, we got 4 guitars, but we'll throw it on each of these. So we'll throw it on here. Pro Q. And these guitars and bass really only they've got no EQ on them at the moment. They're just running Digbeth. So I think they're all running Aurora DSP stuff. Pro Q4. I'll add Pro Q4. Easy peasy. And we got Rhino on this one. And on this one, Sir Bass. So now we've got Pro Q4 on everything. love that when you hit the wrong button. Thanks, Logic, for putting the arrow in a really inconvenient place. It sucks. Let's make sure we're on the right thing here. We'll just solo this. Simple. So you can see it working very well in Logic, being able to just jump to all these tracks, as long as you know what they're called, and to even just come in here and say, all right, I want the guitar pinned, this guitar, so audio 10, then we've got 2 guitar tracks here, and then just say, you know what, let's just pin these to the top. So all I can see now is just the 4 guitar tracks playing. Is just fucking invaluable. It's a winner. It's a FabFilter. It's Pro Q4. I don't know what else to tell you. It's the stock standard, industry standard. Everybody loves it. Of course, you know, it's not going to... Are you going to need it? Do you need it? I'm never going to say you need anything really except a DAW and a microphone and a guitar or some form of keyboard. But do you need this? No. There's plenty of amazing EQs inside each DAW. They all come with reverbs and delays and all that stuff. But is this super fancy and super nice and going to get you a whole lot more than a basic EQ? Absolutely. Is it worth $29.99? I think so. I think if you really love your music, you use a lot of big projects and stuff like that, this is going to make it a hell of a lot easier. I think there's some nice quality of life updates in there. The ease of just drawing in something quickly, it's not going to be for everybody. It's definitely a winner. And $29.99 compared to what, $140 each on desktop and Mac. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. But you do you, boo. Remember, apps aren't Pokemon. You don't need to collect them all, do you? Just the ones that help you make good music. So that is pretty much all the new features in there. It's a gun. It's wicked. Again, the price where you can get it from, here it is. It's for iPad only. It is $29.99. If you're in Australia or Canada, that's going to cost you about $50. Sucks. So there's that. All right, tomorrow on the show, let me tell you what's going down before I dump you all over to Thomas Christ, who's here in that chat, who's one of my legendary moderators. He's got You Rock coming out, where he plays your most rockin' music each and every Wednesday if you're in the UK and US. Thursday if you're here in Australia. I'll dump you over there and you can go hang out for the next 4 hours or so of him playing heaps of great music. Tomorrow here on the show, my friends, Russ 88 will be 88. Russ 88. Russ 88, 89 will be here. We're going to do a Music for Life update. If you want to get involved in this great update, 2 years ago, we did it. We all came together as a community. We released a whole bunch of great songs and we raised money for kids with cancer. And we're doing it again. So if you've got music, you want to get involved in this, submit your track. We'd love to hear your track as long as there's no swearing in it. And, it's a decent track. We can add you and you can help contribute to raise money for kids with cancer in Canada this year. The first album was for the UK. This album we're doing for kids with cancer in Canada. Come here tomorrow. Come and check it out. And then the day after we have, of course, Brad Example, who's here from Canada for the next week and a half still, I think. He's back on the show for Rock and Roll Road Stories on Friday. Come and join us for that. All right, I'm out of here. I need to go and lay down, relax my back. It's killing me. Do the things that make you happy, folks. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together, stay awake. And, yes, you can swear in the song, Mateusz. We'll find you. All right, let's age, my friends. See you later.